And General Jack Keane is here with us. General, we are awaiting President Trump at Arlington National Cemetery, and we might have to cut to that. In the meantime, of course, we will ask you about that as well. But in the meantime, can you tell us about your thoughts regarding America's help to Israel over the weekend to thwart those attacks?
Yeah, well, certainly we've seen two major retaliation attacks, one by Iran, obviously back on October the 13th, and one just recently by Hezbollah this weekend, both for the same reason, you know, to retaliate for Israel killing significant leaders. And in both of those, the United States obviously had a hand. In the first one, U.S.-led coalition intercepted many of the drones and missiles using aircraft and Navy ships to do it. In addition to that, intelligence. And on this one, the United States provided intelligence in terms of early warning, as did the Israelis' systems themselves. And that really turned out to be quite significant because it enabled them to conduct a preemptive strike to take down literally 2/3 of the systems that would have been involved in Hezbollah's attack. So Israel has displayed an upper hand in both of these retaliation attacks, one by Iran and one by Hezbollah, as the results are inconsequential, certainly. But both of them take credit for it, and both Iran and looks like Hezbollah is de-escalating as a result of it. So that's obviously a good outcome from what could potentially have been something disastrous.
Yeah, and General, obviously the strike takes out that threat, at least temporarily, from Hezbollah, but we didn't see Iran really live up to its retaliation claims, and Israel is just preemptively trying to protect itself in both of these cases.
You know, the Iranians are still promising to retaliate for the killing of Hanaya, you know, obviously in Tehran, in a high security zone. But interesting enough, I mean, this has been a promise for weeks now, and they are clearly prioritizing the ceasefire negotiations that are taking place, leading hopefully to hostages being released and a prisoner exchange. That obviously is their priority, and I think that is interesting of itself. I've always had the suspicions in the back of my mind that Iran, given the last inconsequential attack and how humiliating it was for them to undergo that because half of their ballistic missile systems failed, that I think with some reluctance they're going to retaliate. And if they can get this deal done, they would take that certainly, as opposed to the possibility of another humiliating defeat. But look, Iran is the kingpin here. They are driving everything. Hezbollah's retaliation attack doesn't happen without Iran green-lighting that attack this weekend. So let's make sure we understand who is behind what is taking place here in the Middle East. And it's the frustration many of us have with the administration, a lot of emphasis on de-escalation, but not much emphasis on really pinning the rose on Iran and enforcing deterrence on them in terms of operationalizing and continue to operationalize their proxies against Israel.
And a successful defense does not mean that they don't get to think about retaliation from the Israeli side. General, I want to take everybody here now to National